Cheers guys, Epix911, welcome to the Elitist Geek. In this episode I'm going to talk about the Oculus Rift some more. Yesterday, Oculus had their press conference. What the hell's with that? You know, quote-unquote things. Anyways, they had their press conference, quote-unquote, in which they revealed, not much, the look, the aesthetics, but we still don't have detailed hardware specifications. Nor do we have a firm price. What we do know is that it looks quite a bit better. It's more aesthetically pleasing than either of the dev kits were. And it looks pretty damn comfortable, truth be told, but until you actually try one, or until I try one, we won't know. But aesthetically, they look pleasing, and they sure look comfortable. But again, it's based on looks. I'm going to pop up some pictures here or here on the new Oculus Rift throughout this video, including the controller, which was also launched. Now, the controller puzzles me a little bit, and I'll tell you why it puzzles me. I would have thought the ideal controller would have been something that allows you to use natural hand gestures, as opposed to holding a physical controller. Something more along the lines of Kinect than a physical joystick type device. I don't know why I thought that. Just to me, it would seem to convey a larger variety of controls. And what I mean by that is it would kind of, you wouldn't lose the sense of immersion. I think when you limit yourself to a specific physical hardware controller, you're going to feel that controller no matter what the screen is visually telling you you're holding, or you're seeing, or you're interacting with. And as soon as you have a physical device, yes, you've got a tactile response, something hard in your hand, but here's an example. Look at the joystick, and it should still be up on the screen right now. Picture yourself with a steering wheel, right? Yes, I suppose you could have one in each hand. What about something like Elite? Dangerous, right? That's probably best played with the Cytec style controller. So you wouldn't use it for that style of game. Fair enough. But if I'm thinking of the strongest games for the Oculus Rift, I've maintained all along are cockpit style games. Whether that's a space shooter a la Star Wars, you're in an X-Wing or a TIE Fighter, or whether it's a racing game, something like a Need for Speed or a GTA, where you're physically in the car holding the steering wheel. Any kind of a cockpit mech games, again, cockpit-based games, I think are going to be ideal. So to me, a Kinect-style joystick would have been a little bit better, or just allowing you to interact with the controllers that are there. But with that said, as I'm talking my way through this, I'm already seeing some potentials with that controller. So probably not a terrible thing. Price-wise, all they've said is that it's going to be under $1,500 with all the accessories that you need. Now, that may come as a shock to some people because the dev kits have historically been a lot lower. But again, this is coming with everything that you need. So it's going to come with removable headphones, so you could still use it, with headphones that you prefer. It's going to come with basically the controller, I imagine, right? I don't know if it's just going to be one or two, but I'm imagining the controller, headphones, software, and any other kind of physical cables will probably be bundled in. That would be the best way to go about it. I imagine that's what they're going to do. Spec-wise, all we can do is speculate, and my guess is obviously 19 or 1080p minimum, with the potential for 4K, because you never know if parts get a lot cheaper between now and first quarter. Then again, you got to think they're going to be running those production lines ahead of first quarter 2016, probably starting late this summer if they want to have sufficient stock for first quarter 2016. So, we knew that date for a little while. So is it completely surprising they missed the Christmas season? This is one of those rare times where I would have probably thought that trying to rush it and be a bit more aggressive would probably be beneficial to the market. But I could be wrong on that. We'll see what first quarter does. First quarter is usually when people are lowest on their funds, so a little strange. You know, if they were going to wait, then they probably would have been better off waiting until the summer, second quarter. But I know I don't want to wait that long either, so don't get me wrong. But it looks fantastic. I think it's going to feel fantastic. It's always going to be a bit of a niche product, admittedly. Like I said, cockpit games are going to be the main forte, and anything else, devs are going to have to get really creative with an interface to be able to work in the Oculus Rift. But I think cockpit games, if they're done right, they can make the Oculus Rift a must-have. Absolutely. I firmly believe that. Even Call of Duty style games, if they're done right, they can make the Oculus Rift a must-have. Then it's going to find its own market, and people are going to want this device. If it doesn't drastically change the gameplay experience between what you'd have with it versus without it, for that cost, it's going to be a steep uphill climb, let me tell you, to get market share. And that's where I would have to agree with the critics. So it's going to be key to get a high adoption rate. The good news is that it's not terribly difficult to work in the SDK for Oculus Rift with a game. I mean, you can just look at the hacked stuff out there. Mind you, it's less than ideal, but it didn't take long to get stuff like Skyrim up and running. Elite Dangerous, admittedly built from the ground up with Oculus Rift, but if you listen to the devs, it wasn't a huge issue for them to add it or to maintain it as they've gone along. So I'll be really interesting. I am so freaking excited for first quarter 2016. This is honestly a childhood dream come true. I know I've beaten that horse to death with you guys in previous videos on the Oculus Rift, but oh my god, I want a space game, I want Elite Dangerous, I want a mech game, and I want a car racing game, and I want them all on Oculus Rift, and I want it now, and I can't wait. It's going to be fantastic. Really curious to hear what you guys think. Let me know. Also, what are your guesses on specs, guys? What do you think it's going to come out at? Obviously, I think we all agree 1080p minimum. They can't go backwards. But do you think there's a possibility they could hit 4K or some happy medium in between? And also, what about the screen dooring? You know, have we seen the last of screen dooring? And are we going to get that optimal head tracking? I really hope so. Things were looking really good on the dev kit too. And with the right games and the right push, this could be the device, the peripheral to have or to want to have in 2016. As always, guys, till next time, cheers.